Firefighters and first responders run into dangerous situations every day to help people in our community, not knowing if they'll make it back home to their families. And while many put on a brave exterior, a new study shows more firefighters died from suicide in 2017 than on the job. KSBY's Melissa Newman looked into what mental health services are available for various fire departments on the Central Coast to see if more needs to be done to protect those who protect us.
California saw a lot of tragedy over the last year, from the largest wildfire in state history to the deadly debris flow in Montecito. For some first responders, these events are hard to forget and even still hard to process for some 1 year later. It's been 1 year since the debris flow in Montecito, and for Montecito Fire Department engineer Lucas Grant, driving around the city isn't the same.
It's pretty wild to still drive through the district and see the houses that are still wrecked and all the devastation that is kind of still surrounding us. I know a lot of people are rebuilding, but it's still kind of surreal.
Grant and his co-workers worked countless hours in the mud and debris before they were able to return home. When Grant had a chance to reflect back on the whirlwind of devastation, he had trouble coming to terms with what he saw. He struggled for several weeks before finally making a call to the At Ease program, a new Santa Barbara County hotline that helps connect first responders with counselors.
You don't really realize you need to talk to somebody until you do. So for me, it was like, why not? Why not just go talk and let's process the things that I saw, specifically on the debris flow, that were they were devastating. So yeah, you can just reach out, talk to somebody, go as many or as few times as you need to, and it definitely helps.
A recent study from the Ruderman Family Foundation found many first responders have a difficult time processing trauma experienced on the job. They experience PTSD and depression at levels 5 times greater than private citizens.
Your instinct is telling you run away, and they'll go straight into a situation like that that's completely dangerous and rescue people and help people. And going in and going against your instincts is going to have consequences for some people. We're human beings, and so when you see something horrific and tragic, there's consequences that occur in the brain.
Rio Grande psychological assistant Rebecca Gervasi says there are many signs someone may be suffering from PTSD, but it manifests differently in everyone.
And you kind of just need to get in there and peel back the layers of the onion and figure out what symptoms are causing them, behavioral issues that need to be addressed, because you don't want this person to wind up isolating and alone and lonely and feeling suicidal. And these feelings develop over time, and it can be worked through. There's a lot of different techniques that we can use to help.
Gervasi says many first responders don't seek help because they're afraid of losing their jobs, being reassigned, or battling the stigma. She wants changes to be made to make people feel more comfortable to come forward.
There's policies and things I think that could be looked at in terms of our first responders in order to erase that stigma of going in and asking for help, so that they don't not come and eventually we see the worst results happen and lives are lost.
Grant says the Montecito Fire Department is pretty progressive when it comes to addressing mental health, but he'd like to see more men and women in his profession reach out for help.
There's too many firefighters that are committing suicide. There's too many first responders, really, that are committing suicide. And I think that we need to put our mental health at the forefront, because if we're not mentally ready to respond, we're not going to be as sharp as we need to, and we're not going to be able to provide the best care that we can, should be providing to our community.
We reached out to Santa Maria City Fire, 5 Cities Fire, and San Luis Obispo City Fire to learn what procedures they have in place to help with mental health. You can read their responses on our website at ksby.com. In Santa Maria, Melissa Newman, KSBY News.